everybody, and welcome back to another video that I've done, anime video specifically. But I guess I really want to focus on the manga here because I tried to watch the anime version of this series, and it just didn't really sit with me. The animation is flunky. I think it's too inconsistent, and it's not anything outlandishly amazing other than that. It's an okay show, but it's just the manga is pretty much where it's at. So basically, the main to review, I've read about 15 chapters. I think it's pretty solid so far. I would have to say that the the drawing in itself is really fascinating to me because either we have this like Hunter x Hunter like late game style of like not very good drawings to, that are stick figures almost, to this really amazing drawings like the first page with that skull with the three eyes kind of thing. The power system is it's pretty solid. The mana thing, of course, I forgot to mention this is a Black Clover video, but anyways, I think that Big Skull had to be some kind of an inspiration for Onigashima, for Wano. Maybe I think that'd be pretty interesting if somebody, One Piece actually got inspiration from a newer series. But it's pretty interesting, what we actually see so far in the series with it. With the magic and the mana, and we just got introduced to that new power system, which I guess is like the aura around yourself, which is like chakra or rietsu. It's any of those kind of things. But it's pretty engaging so far. I mean, it's not, the action sequences are pretty short so far, but I think it's introducing the characters. Anti-magic is very cool. He reminds me a lot of Ichigo, but more of like the entire series to me, you could tell that it has big three influences and this combination of like all three of these like series within it. The magical element is very similar to how Naruto, how some people can do certain abilities. I would say, it's kind of weird to think Naruto has a magic series, but the swordplay and some of the, when you have this book, kind of reminds me of like Greed Island. And there's just a lot of elements like that, but I think Asta Asta and this kid Uno are like the main, like kind of like brothers, even though they're not. And they're raised in this church. They're from the slums. They're not directly like, there's like this royalty kind of thing. There's this family tree, all this kind of stuff like that that's interesting. That I hope we'll, get more of a deeper explanation. I hope it lives up to the explanation too. Later into the, a couple of series, we have, Asta can't, use his magic, which, remind me of Naruto when he couldn't do his thing, or, like that shonen thing where they stink at something at first. But I do love the interesting thing about his magic is it's not magic, it's anti-magic. So I'm really fascinated to know the origins of it and to know why does he have it, and the significance of like a 1 to 4 leaf clover. Like, what if you got one and you still had magic? So it's just really fascinating to me, that whole concept. As a magic concept, it works pretty solidly. There's not have been a lot of heavy spells and stuff like that. We've had an open market. We've met the Wizard King, or is he the Sorcerer's Emperor? I'm not sure which translation to choose. I'm reading it on like some jank blackclover.com website, so I'm not sure if it's that great. But I think the beginning chapters, set it up pretty good. I love this little like thing that they had, this little like tournament kind of thing to see where they went. The black bowls are great. What's interesting is no matter what the art style is in the chapter, the little emblem on their shoulder that's the black bowls thing, it stays pretty amazingly, and it does a really good job of just it's pretty it's like the Jolly Roger, it's the main symbol of the series. It's like a Bionicle mask. What are you gonna remember from the series kind of thing? And the black bowls is something you'll immediately pick out. That's another smart like thing to have as a series because people will remember that. So I think that's pretty cool. I love the black bowls when we first get introduced to him. Yami's a pretty cool dude. He sees him defeat that guy and he's like, whoa, he didn't defeat him with magic. He defeated him with whatever the hell that was. He goes down there and he's like, yeah, he's like, oh, kid, I mean, I know that he's similar to a lot of other shonen senseis or whatever, but he's just so damn cool. He kind of reminds me of Spike, kind of like coolness. He's cool, but he doesn't try too hard, kind of thing. But I don't know. That's just kind of the vibe I get, anyways. So he walks out there. He picks him up. He says, well, why don't you become part of the Black Bulls? Then when he introduces him to their manor or their mansion, whatever, it's pretty hilarious. Like the anime kind of did this wonky thing where it's like I think they did the action well, but the music and the comical doing doing kind of like sound effects didn't really help it much. I don't know. That was just me. But I do love just the chaotic nature of it. Vanessa's like drunk, and she's actually pretty good, at controlling magic. Yet again, it reminds me of other characters. I guess I'm not going to keep going into these, what characters are similar to each other, I guess. But then, we get this other group, all, the Bat guy, and then he had to Asta had to kind of prove himself. Of course he does. And then we get Noel, and it's pretty interesting with the Noel thing. I could see him still trying to marry the lady at the church, because if he wants to be the Sorcerer's King, I guess, or Sorcerer's Emperor, I guess you need to be married. I'm not really sure on that. Um, it's kind of like nature, though. If like it's like Naruto when he's Hokage. It's not like he was married before that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But I guess maybe that's just a prerequisite that you have to have. But yeah, I could see him still marrying that lady at the church. It's kind of like this weird dynamic, though. It's like the way that Noel has these moments with him remind me a lot of Orihime and Ichigo. I haven't even finished Bleach, but I already know that they have more connections than anyone else with Ichigo. So you could see where the author's pushing it, and the same goes for Noel and Asta. You could see that he's pushing for it. It's like you're not even trying to shift these two characters. The author just like, no, it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? It may not happen, but it just seems very odd that she's actually flustered when he protects her, or when he says, oh, who cares if your magic's not good? You're part of us. And da 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 and I think the moments that are really good as a shonen character as Asta is when it's like the poor dynamic, he's very grateful for anything, and I think that's easily lost on a lot of people, especially even if you just live in a normal area. Like you wouldn't be like, oh, so what? I got money for doing a job, but this guy's like, well, money, a job, a roof, a room. That's what's pretty cool about his character. Uh, I know it gets a little bit crazy towards the end, but now currently I guess there's this big conflict. So that's good. That's good. But the thing is, I guess the author Tapata Tab I don't uh, I pronounced it right a while ago, but now I can't remember it. Tataba. I don't know. Whatever. She was basically saying that the series could last as long as One Piece or Naruto or Bleach, and no, we don't need another one of those. I mean, we don't need a series that goes into the 700s of chapters. I mean, 300, cool. 400, that's fine. 500, maybe, but 700, it's just, I don't know. It's just too long, So I hope that's not the direction that we just keep getting these arcs that don't make sense. But there's a lot of kingdoms. There's a lot of like dynamics. Obviously it's like this ladder effect of him having to be the Sorcerer's King. So it's a lot of interesting things. And then we have the recent arc with the dungeon thing, and it's pretty short. It's not a super long arc, but it is pretty interesting how the dynamics of like this luck guy, and he's like smiling a lot of time, and it's like I think it's like kind of in a profound way, even if it's a simple thing of just smiling all the time, because it's like even if someone dies, it doesn't matter what's going on, like you have to smile, or to me it seemed like there's a rooted reason why he smiles all the time, maybe it's to remind him of his mom or something. But anyways, I love his character. He's got this Kenpachi mentality to him, and it's just really fun to watch him do his thing. And this other guy with the smoke, he's got an okay ability, nothing special. The diamond ability guy, Uno is there. Uno. But Uno is there. He saves Asta with the wind thing. And now he's there fighting this guy that has, like, I guess diamond magic. And it's kind of confusing because this other guy that has steel magic was able to break the guy that has diamond magic. So I don't know if the other guy wasn't trying or because diamond can cut through anything. So it's a little confusing, but I do think it's pretty interesting how this whole thing's going to turn out. The treasure room, the whole dungeon thing. The dungeon thing's different too. You know, different spin on it anyways. So, pretty interesting series. I'm going to keep informing you guys as I go along. You know, like do every couple of arc kind of thing. So, yeah, look out for those. And anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.